Hi BookTube, my name is Juan. I am just one reader. 2019 is officially coming to a close, and so it's the perfect time to discuss the worst books that I read all year. So this is going to be a list of the 5 books that for different reasons irritated me, bothered me, annoyed me, or just flat out disgusted me. So these are books that I hated or was just left cold by, very disappointed by. As usual, the regular disclaimer, these are just my opinions. This is just what I think. You don't have to take it as the absolute truth. But these are books that I think, for different reasons, just no one should read. No one should bother trying to read these books. But that's just my opinion. So coming in at number 5 is Young People's Concerts by Leonard Bernstein. This book is not essentially bad. It's not horrible. It's not badly written or anything. The idea of this book is very noble, and the intention of presenting this as a book is very noble. But it was just a complete mess, in my opinion. It was a train wreck. What this book does is it transcribes as text what was originally an entire experience with music. So these are transcriptions of Leonard Bernstein in the 60s in New York, giving this sort of master classes, public lessons, lectures to young people so that they could understand some musical theory. And the content in this book is really wonderful, but the experience itself is very mediocre, and I felt like there was something missing, that the most important key component was missing, which was the music itself. So this book is not awful, it's just a very failed attempt of presenting an experience in text. I don't think this book should exist in the first place because it's essentially flawed. So there you go. Now, coming in at number 4 is a book that I thought was pretty disappointing, and that was The Kiss of the Spider Woman by Manuel Puig. This is originally written in Spanish. It's an Argentinian classic, or one of those books that everybody has to read. I thought it was pretty okay. It wasn't the worst book I've ever read. It wasn't wonderful. It was just pretty boring, sometimes very political, sometimes incredibly philosophical. Some of those moments were really well achieved and really wonderful, but most of the book was just mediocre. It was like eating salt with nothing else. So I gave it like a 3-star rating, but it was very bland. It was nothing important to me. So coming in at number 3 is a book that also wanted to be very political and very important. It wanted to be like, this is an important book. But I just thought it was not very well executed, and that was How to Survive a Summer by Nick White. The most beautiful thing about this book is its cover, the design. The content, on the other side, was just very failed, in my opinion. It just didn't do it. It's about this camp that tries to convert homosexual kids into something that they're not. And that idea is very good. The concept is good. The premise is good. But the writing was pretty bad. The characters are really annoying and mentally ill in a way that doesn't make them relatable. It just makes them annoying, and you just want to put some distance with everybody here. So it's not particularly interesting. It's not particularly well written. It's a book that no one should read because it just doesn't do anything really well or really bad. It's just sort of mediocre, which was a common thread in my 2019 in this batch of books, at least. Now, coming in at number 2 is a book that I thought was also about an idea that could have been great, but the characters were also incredibly annoying and mentally ill and unstable. It's a book about borderline personality disorders just walking around everywhere in San Francisco. And this is Tales of the City by Armistead Maupin. I love the cover. I love the concept of following these characters around San Francisco and, you know, the gay lifestyle and everything. But the book is just bonkers. The book is awful. It's meandering in the worst possible ways. It is annoying. The characters are loud and shrill, and they are presented as quirky, but that quirk is really mental illness. These characters are just repulsive. I hated following these characters around. I hated the confusing, meandering plot lines that sometimes connected, but there was no real plot discernible there. I never cared about anyone or anything that happened. I just wanted to be over and done with this so that I could never read it again. And yet, there is one more book. Coming in at number one is the book that I was most disappointed by, but not only was I just disappointed by it, I actively hated it, and I wanted everyone in it to die. I wanted everybody who has read it to die as well. I wanted to kill the author. I wanted to kill myself while I was reading this book. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but only a little. And that is Bel Canto by Anne Patchett. What a fucking piece of bullshit this was. This is everything that I hate in one small condensed package of shit. Forgive me, God, for I have sinned, because I am the only person who has so hated this book. This book is beloved by many people, and I really thought I would too. It's about opera, it's about singing, it's about musical artistry and musical technique and singing, and there's references to musical pieces that I love here. How could I not like this, right? Well, it's shit. It is awfully written. The writing is exactly the kind of writing that I detest. The characters are stupid, incomprehensibly stupid, and there's no plot that I can think of more convoluted and ridiculous than this one. This was just the worst book I've read in many a long time. I don't even want to hold it in my hands anymore. I don't even want to keep talking about it because it was just awful, saccharine, sweet, ridiculous, overly melodramatic, and boring at the same time. And the writing just was like swallowing honey for a week. You wanted to cough everything. You wanted to regurgitate everything and never taste it again. So those are the 5 books that I hated the most in 2019. I am so glad that I can wash that stink off of me so that I can make way for the best books that I read in 2019, which were some amazing books. So I'm gonna leave you for now. I'm gonna go with a song. I'm gonna sing Maybe This Time from the musical Cabaret, and I will see you on my next video. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. he will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor, something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor, something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen.